So, back at it again. Third free bike in as many weeks, and they just keep getting better. Can you believe that someone was just giving this thing away for free? I was on Marketplace scrolling through and I seen it up for 50 bucks and I put it in my watch list thinking that I could probably still make money off it at $50, and it's a large frame, so like I said in my last video, a lot easier to sell than the small ones. So I thought, if I could get my hand on it for $40, $50, I should just be able to clean it and resell it again for say 100 bucks. I awoke on the Saturday morning and had a look through my saved items to see the 1,000 things I had saved through the week. He had actually marked this for free. 100% I was grabbing it if it was available. The other great thing about Facebook Marketplace is that when you click on their profile, it brings up all the other things that they have for sale. This guy was moving interstate, so he had a few things there that he was giving away for free. So I actually picked up this bike and a desk for my son's room for what could have been for free. I kind of felt a little bit bad taking two really good items off him for absolutely nothing, so I ID'd him 25 bucks as a thank you. I know it's not the $100 that he had on both the items all up, but hey, he was giving them away for free. He got a little bit of money and I felt a little bit better about myself. So yeah, what we have here is a Malvern Star Sprint 1.0 in a large frame. So perfect for me to be able to sort of give it a bit of a tidy up and take it for a spin. So I'm gonna try and do that with all the bikes that I flip, so I know that when I'm selling it on to the next person, that's not just gonna fall apart as soon as they take it out the driveway. So it should be a pretty easy flip. The seat's in really good condition, the tires are in really good condition, both the wheels are true enough that they don't rub on the brakes when they spin. The bottom bracket seems to spin freely. The chain is a bit rusty, as is with most bikes here on the sunny coast, especially if they're left outdoors. It does have a large amount of unnecessary things on it, which just make it look cluttered and dirty. So there's things that I always take off bikes when I get them, and I know that I should probably leave them on there for safety reasons, but for the saleability of a bike, it makes it a lot easier to sell when you don't have things like reflectors or cheap sort of eBay lights hanging off them, especially when they don't work. Nearly every bike that I get also has a lock hanging off it. One thing to note, if you are getting a bike off Marketplace for free, of course, and it has a lock attached to it, make sure you get the code, because once you take the bike, the person who had it, if they're giving it to you for free, they're not going to want to deal with you through Messenger if you're asking them for codes for locks. So I was lucky enough that this guy, after I'd sent him the money, sent me the code. I didn't pay for the code, but technically I did, I guess. Otherwise, I mean, you can cut these things off, but I might get $5 for it on Marketplace, or it might be good for the kids when they start riding to school. Who knows? It can just sit in the spares box until then. So it's currently 10 to 9 in the morning, and I have an appointment with my partner in Maroochydore at 11:30. It's a roughly 25K ride from my place here. So I would say it's gonna take maybe an hour, maybe a little longer. I'm not sure how fast this thing actually rolls, and I've never actually ridden up to Maroochydore from my house. I'll allow for, let's say, an hour and a half, so I'll get there in time to stop sweating and not look like an absolute mess when I walk into this appointment. That doesn't give us much time at all. I'll get it off the stand, give it a wash, and yeah, we'll go over it once it's done, and I'll tell you what exactly I've done to it to improve the look and the saleability of it.
Aye. Old school ravers love me. Tracksuit trainers comfy. I might get a yard food cause I'm hungry. One bar made the dance go jumpy. Bungee. I saw the back from the front, it was lovely. Come here quickly, get one kiss and hug me, trust me. And it might be a train cause my brethren bust. I got to one-on-one like Hat and Ben Arthur. I got my eyes on a Patek Philippe. I think I'm too nice car dressed in designer, but I was getting gal in a Primark tee. I need the watch Swiss Shaqiri. She want a TikTok on a Miris. If you want a Kia Keys tune on your CV, just make sure the booth on like Gigi.
So prior to giving the bike a good clean, I'll go over the whole bike and remove any of the items that I feel are sort of unnecessary or will take away from the look of the bike when I go to sell it. the lights that come on the bike. The rear one worked, the front one doesn't work, and they both take AAA batteries, so they're not like good quality lights. All of the connection points in them were corroded as well, so they're not worth saving. The top of the bell was quite sort of corroded, so I removed that as well. I've just dropped the bike off the stand so I can clamp it by the seat tube so it's a little bit more stable. I've moved the chain down to the smallest ring, just makes it easier to get the wheel on and off. Disconnect the V-brakes so I can get the tyre through and just drop the wheel out. Now the reason I'm taking the rear wheel off is so I can remove the cassette, which you'll need a chain whip tool and the cassette tool. And yeah, this disc just pops off. You can take it off without removing the cassette, but I don't know, I have the tools, so I just did it. The front tire was the incorrect rotation, so it was as simple as taking the wheel off, turning it around and putting it back on again. It just makes the bike look nicer overall if the tire's going in the right direction. So now I've just put the rear cassette back on, connected the brakes back up, and yeah, it's to a point where I'm ready to give it a wash.
I like to make you move, I just keep getting enough from you.
So as you can see, by just removing some of the clutter from the bike and giving it a simple wash has already improved the look of the bike tenfold, and just taking a couple of photos of it in this condition, I think would quickly sell it on Marketplace. But there is a few blemishes in the paint and a couple of little mechanical things that I'd like to address. So I'm just going to give it a quick once over now and then fit it up for myself, and I'll be ready to take off.
So I'm just using a bit of the Ultimate Compound from Meguiar's here, just to bring a bit of shine back into the paint. And you'll see here the difference between the seat tube and the down tube. So I've just finished polishing the seat tube and haven't yet touched the down tube. It's hard to tell in the camera, but it makes a massive difference. Now I'm just double checking the indexing of the gearing. I haven't lubed the chain yet, so it looks a bit dry and average, but it still changes gears really well, and it changed even better once the chain had been lubed up.
It's currently 10:05 a.m. so it's taken us an hour and 15 minutes basically to get to this point, and that is with me filming everything. So easily less than an hour job. I just removed all the clutter from the bike, all the reflectors, the dork disc, anything that sort of made it look a bit old and clunky. Gave it a good wash, gave it a rough polish on the paint, made sure that the gears were indexed correctly, which they were pretty much spot on anyway. Then just adjusted the brakes because the pads are a little bit worn and they'd never been adjusted before. So now both wheels spin perfect, gears change great, brakes work really good. The seat isn't too uncomfortable, so I think my ride up to Maroochydore is gonna be okay. The grips are horrible. They're like those ergonomic style ones that have the bit of a swoop on the bottom of them. I don't know. I guess they're probably comfortable when they stay still. These ones are quite loose on the handlebars. I do have some other grips in my box there. So considering I'm probably gonna get decent money for this bike, swapping over those grips isn't gonna be an issue. The pedals too. So the pedals are a bit of a letdown and they make the bike look really dated. So I'm gonna pull those pedals off. I have another free bike that I've collected, but it needs a little bit more work. So I'm gonna pull the plastic pedals off that, slap it on this, and then I'll cop some new pedals, which I had a look on Pushies, and for those pedals is only like $12. Accounting for say $10 fuel and cleaning products, because this was quite close to my house, say $30 worth of parts, which will be grips, pedals, and chain lube. I'm gonna come out of this one pretty well, I reckon. I'll swap the pedals over and the grips, and then I'll get ready to hit the road.
I took the bus down I'm violating. Now I got the bus down violating. Officer, I'm high off the vibrations. Don't ask, my pupils dilated. Ain't made it, still got the same neighbours. Circle tight with the car spacious. I won't stop till I've got acres. Need 100 M's like Dwayne Chambers. GUCCI Gucci. You've been all on me recently, but you don't talk to me decently. On my A game since you betrayed me. And I came a long way since I signed my disco. Now my checks come with a note like Astros. Used to go school with my Astros. Fight for my right like Fidel Castro.
I wanna be mine, you can be. 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 Could you be the one to
So, finished up at our appointment, cruising back home now. I didn't talk much on the way because I was running a little bit behind. And now that I'm out of the appointment, I realised that I got school pickup to do this afternoon. And I'm also running a little bit behind for that. So, yeah, I'll just grab a couple more clips on the way, and I think I'll just add some voiceovers. So there we go. We got back from our ride just in time, so it's 1:55. In 5 minutes I have to go and get the kids from school, so perfect timing. Yeah, I left here at 10:40 and got to the appointment at 11:30, and it was about a 20k ride, so yeah, not too bad. Being that it was a commuter bike, I took it all basically just commuter paths. So I just used like residential roads, footpaths, dedicated cycle paths, any like little bits of single track or anything that cross paths. So I'll go do what I gotta do now, and then I'll do a proper rundown when I get back. So it's all cleaned up, ready for sale. All I've added was the grips, the pedals, some chain lube, and a bit of elbow grease. And it's come up looking amazing. As you would have seen, I took it for a ride today to my appointment. It was 20Ks up, 20Ks back, didn't miss a beat. I took it to Alex Skate Park and just did a couple of laps there, but yeah, I was a bit worried that I was gonna look like that copper that just folded his front wheel in the bowl. I come out of it unscathed, thank goodness. The bike itself, it rode really well. The gears changed really well. If it was my personal bike, I would opt for wider bars. But I think if you're buying this straight off the floor, then you'd be pretty happy with it. It's got 32C tires, a pretty comfy seat. I didn't really get that much discomfort in 40Ks of riding. With the grips that are on here now, a lot better than the other ones. I don't know how I would have gone riding 40Ks with those other grips. I think whoever picks this up is gonna be stoked with it because it's a really good buy for a sub $200 bike. I plan to keep making these videos of flipping bikes that I get for free or extremely cheap on Marketplace, just to show you what can be achieved and how you can make a couple of extra dollars in your free time. I'll pin a comment at the top of the video once it's sold to let you know what it has sold for. But yeah, until the next video, I'll just keep chipping away at these free bikes. And yeah, if you would like to subscribe, like, comment, share to one of your friends, I would really appreciate it. And yeah, till the next one.